Moving out to other stories where the Benue State government has placed a total ban on public gatherings and restricted religious worshippers to 50 at a time. Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Ungulan Adinge, made this known at the end of the weekly executive meeting in Makurdi. Meanwhile, Plateau State government says it will criminalize people that peddle fake information about the pandemic. The government says it is a crime to deny the existence of the pandemic or spread information intended to confuse people about the virus. Now we have Mike Omotosho, a medical doctor who joins us via Skype from Abuja to shed more light on this. Now, thank you so much for joining us on News Now.
Thank you for that, Shadi. I'm actually a pharmacist.
All right,
Dr. Mike
thank you.
Omotosho. It's okay. Yes, thank you.
All right. Thanks for that clarification. Now, what are we missing as Nigerians, and what should we do to keep the rate of infection low?
Well, I often tell people, regardless of the antiviral agents being prescribed, regardless of the expectations for vaccines that we're all waiting for, the most important part really is to ensure that you do two things. Ensure you don't contract the virus, ensure you don't spread the virus, and additionally, increase your personal immunity. If you do these three, then you're sure to actually get away with it. It's near impossible to not interact with people. It's near impossible not to talk to people. But then we already have the 2-meter policy. So if you must talk to people, ensure that you're not just wearing your mask, and if you're too close, ensure that you actually wear the mask itself. There's nothing like, this is my family member, so I know them well enough so they can't have COVID. No, COVID doesn't show on the face. The most dangerous part of COVID is that people can actually be carriers without showing the clinical manifestations, and then they go all around spreading it. Now, the sad part is people expect that it's only when people cough. But as you're talking, as you're singing, there are droplets that are coming out. And if the droplets touch any surface, and you touch the surface, and then you now use it to touch your nose, your mouth, or your eyes, then you've infected yourself. That's exactly where the problem is, and that's why it's important to continuously wash our hands with ordinary soap and water. And where soap and water is not available, just use a sanitizer.
All right. Basically, of course, some experts have raised concerns about the storage capacity of the Nigerian government, and some have also advised that we acquire vaccines that we can easily store. Now, as a pharmacist, how do you react to that?
Well, I totally agree with the suggestion of Mazi Samuabua, the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, that we should be very cautious. It is of paramount significance to know what we're buying, because most of the other ones can actually be stored between +2 to +8. But the Pfizer is -70 to -75, Moderna is -25. Now, there is storage for all of this, but it just becomes, the logistics becomes increasingly more difficult. However, there's a part we're all neglecting. We're hoping to get 62 million doses as a nation. What quantity are we buying as we speak? The nation is actually relying on donations from loans from China, from the Gavi Alliance, from the Bill and Melinda Gates Alliance. When you're actually paying, then you can dictate what you want. But in a situation when we're waiting for freebies, then we've got to prepare in-house. What are the logistic capabilities that we have? Where are the cold chain facilities? Are we training our health personnel to be able to handle all of these vaccinations when it comes on? What gold standards are available for vaccinations elsewhere? Luckily, this time around, we're not even the guinea pigs. We see what's happening in America, we see what's happening in Europe, so let's use them as guinea pigs. What can we copy and adapt from their own process to our own local environment here to make better? Yes, we should be cognizant when we're buying, but in a situation where we're getting donations, then we've got to look inwards and decide what we need to do. I know, for instance, I'm in cold chain logistics, for instance, we're already preparing to expand our logistics capacity, and I expect the private sector to begin to do that. Enough of waiting for governments. Let's begin to look inwards amongst ourselves and say, what can we truly do?
Well, certainly we hope the federal government takes this advice. But thank you very much, Michael Motoshok, for coming on the news. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Falashade. Thank you.